So they're always being hunted.
And we're ready to go. Rutgers in the home white, trimmed with red and black, and Princeton in their road black uniforms, trimmed, of course, with that tiger orange. Dana Moore will jump it up for Princeton. Susan Blauser is in the circle for Rutgers, and the ball game is underway. Tap controlled by Rutgers, and the Scarlet Knights will move left to right on your screen. Glad you could join us for live Rutgers women's basketball right here on TKR Cable Channel 6. Should be a good one. Liz Hansen fires off the rim, no. Rebound Clemente underneath and scores. Jen Clemente.
Now this could be very interesting. Princeton comes out in the player-to-player defense. Let's see how long they'll stay in that.
Hansen with the steal. Nice bounce pass, Samoji, who scores.
Very important for Rutgers to come out real quick and diffuse any kind of enthusiasm that this Princeton team might have.
And one thing they want to do against Princeton is get off to a good start, because the Tigers themselves have been known to get off to good starts. In fact, this year in their 3 previous games, they got up to 17-8, 22-9, and 13-4 starts.
Well, they go up to the Minnesota Dial Classic and win the whole thing. They beat Northern Illinois, come back, and they beat Siena. Then last week they beat Lafayette. So at 3-0, Liz Feely is very pleased with her team's performance.
Samoji brings it up. 1 minute gone by in the ball game. Rutgers leads it by the score of 4-0. Amy Reinders outside, goes to Hansen on the baseline, dribbles in, looks for help, dishes outside Blauser. Princeton playing tough D, but Clemente gets the ball and draws the foul.
Now, with Rutgers, with Princeton being in this player-to-player defense, I definitely want to see how long they're going to stay in, because what Rutgers is going to see is a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and watch them take the ball to the hoop, because they'll bring the girls out, they'll work on those pick and rolls.
Jen Clemente goes to the line. She is 3 of 6 from the foul line so far in this young season. Her first is on the way, no good. Of course, tonight the Rutgers men are on the road, their first Big East road game at Georgetown, and we'll keep you abreast of that score as we go along tonight. Clemente's second free throw is in and out as it rolls around the rim, and Princeton comes back the other way. Presley goes to the top of the key to Rozzi. Presley out to Rozzi.
And we see Rutgers in their 2-3 defense. What Princeton likes to do, they have their strength is in their post. As you can see, Dana Moore taking that shot right there. You'll see a lot of give and goes off the post area.
Trisha Clock with a beautiful pass underneath. And the Princeton deficit is now 2. Rutgers 4, Princeton 2. 2 minutes gone by. Blauser, one bounce, puts it in.
Good recognition by Hansen. Blauser pins her girl on the post. Good drop step move.
6-2, Rutgers on top. Princeton passes the ball around the zone. Cross-court Presley and into the Rutgers bench.
Well, what happens with that 2-3 defense, usually it clogs up the middle, but Rutgers spreading it out, forcing pressure on the perimeter.
Princeton's first 4 possessions have resulted in 3 turnovers. That's not exactly what Liz Feely wants to see in the early portion of the game. Hansen, the bounce pass on the left wing to Reinders. Reinders goes top of the key, Blauser. Outside Samoji for 3, yes!
You know, we said it in the first game against Penn State is the offense of Rutgers, the timing. That was good timing by Samoji coming out of the low post.
Nice pass on the left wing and a nice shot by Zakia Presley. It's 9-4 Rutgers. Blauser looks to turn around. Baby hook is good. Got the roll.
And what you can see from the start, Rutgers trying to move the ball up the court. Good strategy by this team.
Another Princeton turnover. Rutgers with the basketball in the forecourt. 11-4 Rutgers on top. Princeton 3-0. Their wins have come against Lafayette by 16, Northern Illinois, and Siena.
I think we're going to see Samoji get some opportunities as Andrea Rozzi's on her, and I don't think that she'll be able to keep up with Samoji.
Clemente might have gotten away with one there. She moved her elbow into the defender, but no call. 13-4. Rutgers on top. The foul is on Reinders, I believe.
And you can see that defense coming out of its normal 2-3 pattern in the paint, coming out, putting pressure on the perimeter.
Scarlet Knights' first team foul, and the first on Reinders, obviously. Princeton needs a bucket. They trail 13-4. Stolen by Hansen. Up ahead, Samoji. Couple of dribbles, puts it up. Nice defensive play for Princeton. Kim Allen, the junior, with a nice play.
And Samoji thought she got the foul. Good protection when she went up.
And Princeton calls a timeout. So there's a break in the action. 16:26 remaining first half. Rutgers 13, Princeton 4. And now they take a TV timeout with 15:54 mark. But we'll keep it right here. Princeton trailing Rutgers 13-4. Rutgers off to a good start. You know, Rutgers, of course, beat Penn State by the score of 68-6.
Second timeout when she had a TV timeout coming in 20 seconds. And that's critical in the game because, you know, men play so many TV games, women don't get that much opportunity, and they don't know how to utilize those TV timeouts.
Liz Hansen in the forecourt. Samoji, top of the key. Clemente, nice pass into Blauser, who puts it up and in. She is so tough in the paint.
The high-low communication between the three freshmen has been superb this year.
Right now, Rutgers in command, and then a jump ball. Samoji ties up Sarah Whetstone. And now Andrea Rozzi back into the game.
And with this 2-3 defense that Rutgers is playing, they are extending out, putting their hands in the passing lane, forcing Princeton's offense to go beyond the arc.
Rutgers leads 15-4 with 4.5 gone by first half.
See how aggressive they are with the girls, with the player with the ball, putting their hands in the passing lane.
Inside, getting position, but not able to finish it off is Dana Moore. And here comes Rutgers up ahead to Blauser. Nice move, but then she is fouled underneath by Rozzi.
And Blauser doesn't just go up. She knows that Rozzi's right on her, but she uses her body, protects the ball, and collects the foul.
Well, you know, Susan Blauser was a USA Today high school All-American player, and you get the idea why she was selected as so. She is incredibly impressive. She is just a freshman, and she looks like she's been out there a long time.
She doesn't, and you could say the same thing for Kylie Martin and for Jennifer Clemente. They've really, the trio has been very, very impressive this past 4 games. And Blauser is actually leading Rutgers in scoring with 12 points a game.
Blauser, a 62% free throw shooter, now has 7 points in the game. Rutgers by a dozen. 12-4, Scarlet Knights on top. 5 minutes gone by first half. Cross court, the Tigers looking for some offense.
Well, good strategy by Rutgers, extending the defense, but they have to watch out for that. When they do so, they have to protect the low post.
Well, Rozzi goes inside to Dana Moore, who just backdoored Rutgers, and of course that's a big play down at Princeton. Pete Carrill uses that play all the time with the men's team.
And Liz Feely says that the first thing she did was when she went to Princeton was spend some time with Pete Carrill and enjoyed every moment of it.
Liz Hansen, the shot outside doesn't go. The rebound to Princeton, knocked out by Rutgers, so the Tigers will get the basketball back. Rutgers leads 16-6.
Yeah, Samoji, that's just true. See, Samoji's saying, I can't believe you're calling that Princeton ball. And of course, they reversed that call. It is a Rutgers ball.
Hansen will trigger for Rutgers. Samoji comes over to get the pass. Now dribbles on the baseline in no man's land. Goes outside to Reinders, and Hansen saves it at midcourt.
It's so important in this game that Rutgers play well in all facets, offensively and defensively.
Hansen hands to Reinders. Back to Hansen. Hansen goes baseline, foul on Princeton. Zakia Presley called for the personal foul. You know, Liz Hansen, that's Presley's second, by the way, got off to the great start against Penn State, but Notre Dame and Maryland both keyed on her, and she struggled a little bit. Rutgers needs to take the pressure off of her a little bit offensively and get some other people to pump in some points.
Well, you know, Reinders has to step up to the plate. Reinders has the potential. She's playing 26 minutes a game, but she's only scoring 3 points a game.
Another player who needs to step up to the plate and has done so over the last several days is Kristen Samoji.
Well, I tell you what, if Samoji starts playing in Vivian Stringer's system, she's going to love it because she is going to excel.
The high pass is knocked away and picked off by Hansen. 19-6, Rutgers on top with 13 and a half remaining first half. Hansen across the midcourt line. Samoji, nice bounce pass, Blauser. It's knocked away from behind and Clementi follows.
That's what was missing in the Maryland game is protection of the offensive boards.
21-6, Rutgers over Princeton.
This is okay that they extend out very far because they're challenging Princeton right now.
Shot outside, no, off the rim, tapped up and out of bounds, and last touch by Rutgers, so the Tigers will throw in underneath their own bucket. Andrea Rozzi will trigger for Princeton. Princeton last year, 15 and 11, 7 and 7 in the Ivy League. Looking to do better than that this year. In fact, they're thinking about winning the Ivy League.
Well, they have 11 players returning from last year's squad. Liz Philly does a very nice job with her team. I saw the game against Lafayette. I told you I was very impressed with their offense, with the defense, the communication on the court, and that's why this makes this game is that much special to Rutgers because they're just not playing well, just an Ivy League team, which we know is not really, they're not really very, very strong in Division I basketball. This is a very well-coached team.
Samoji loses the handle. Turnover against Rutgers, and Princeton will throw it in. Princeton thought to be one of the better teams in the Ivy League this year. Of course, the Princeton men are off to a good start, as usual, 3-0. Outside shot put up in. Nice shot by Lynn Makaluski, a sophomore out of Kingston, Pennsylvania. And the Tigers have cut it to 12. Rutgers leads 21-9.
Now you can see that Princeton in a zone, a 1-3-1 zone. The 1-3-1 zone, watch the positioning. The low spot-up areas on the low post will be open for that.
Hansen, nice give and go to Reinders, who puts it up and draws the foul. So Amy Reinders will go to the line.
You gotta love Amy Reinders. She's such a hard worker. She's one of the better defensive players on this Rutgers club. Always working hard, but never looking for her own shot. Always looking to dish off, and that's the problem with her game. She has to believe in herself. She needs to contribute more. You know, Rutgers needs 10, 15 points from Amy Reinders. Once she gives that in the perimeter, that opens up more in the post area and alleviates the double teaming that Liz Hansen normally has.
Reinders hits the first, she'll get another. Amy Reinders, a candidate for Rhodes Scholar this year, which of course would send her to Oxford, and sure wish her the best of luck in that regards. Quite an honor just to be a candidate. A break in the action. 11:59 remaining first half. All Rutgers. Scarlet Knights lead it 23-9. Princeton with the basketball. Tigers will bring it across. Rozzi with the basketball. Goes inside to Kim Curry. Curry drives, puts it up too hard. Rebound put up and a foul. Tricia Clock will go to the line. A foul on Susan Blauser. Interesting story about Kim Curry, who's a captain. Last year, she was a second-team All-Ivy League last year, and this year comes off the bench, so we'll talk more about that later. Right now, Tricia Clock goes to the line. She's the other co-captain for the Tigers. Her free throw is no good. Clock is a 67% free throw shooter. Tricia Clock spent the summer doing missionary work in Brazil. She's also done it in Madeira and Haiti. She has a very interesting major, doesn't she, Kathy?
Concentration in medieval and Renaissance Europe.
Now that is an interesting subject.
We have someone out there that's also has a major in molecular biology.
Wow. That's heavy. I'll tell you, I would like to sit down with Tricia Clark and talk to her. I actually have an interest in that as well, but you didn't know that. Medieval and Renaissance Europe.
We haven't had that conversation recently, Lou.
No, it's not something that comes up every day, but Samoji for a three, no, off the back rim. And a foul in the backcourt. And the foul is on Lawana McLean, who thinks otherwise, but she's going to lose that argument.
Rutgers foul number 22, Lawana McLean, her first. The third Rutgers team foul.
Crowd just kind of sitting back and relaxing. Not too much to get excited about. Shot outside, no, off the rim. Rebound knocked around, and traveling is the call on Princeton.
A little dead spot in the action over here. Both teams making errors, not really in the flow of things. Princeton, 1-3-1 defense. Openings, top of the key spot up, low post, right outside the key.
Kylie Martin with a nice dish pass to Clemente. She can't score, and Princeton gets it back. Nice move by Makaluski behind the back to Razi. Goes inside the clock. Outside shot, Razi for three, no. Rebound underneath to Clock.
What's happening right now, Princeton getting good offensive positioning. Rutgers falling asleep on the defensive boards.
Cross-court pass, they go in the corner to Clock. Goes inside Curry, puts it up too hard. Clemente almost got it back, but then a foul on Jen Clemente reaching in.
See, this Princeton club, they do a very nice job, on the offensive boards, always working hard, a lot of movement. Their spacing is very good, covering the weak side very well for the offensive rebounds.
And you have a road at Notre Dame and at Maryland. And against Maryland, they came back to tie the Terrapins with 6:16 left after they were trailing by 10. So they really were in both games on the road. Rutgers trying to even their record before they head into their tournament this weekend.
And they changed defense. Now they're in a player-to-player defense. And see, I think a player-to-player defense for Rutgers is a real good move, because against a team like Princeton, who have somewhat slowness of the feet, what we say, Rutgers has the ability to stay with them and also protect the boards, which Vivian Stringer is very concerned about.
Rutgers with the basketball on the Princeton turnover. Hansen in the forecourt, goes to McLean, top of the key. Foul line, Clemente. Outside, Hansen dribbles in, shovel past Martin, puts it up, no, but draws the foul.
Good attack by Rutgers against that 1-3-1. You know, when Clemente gets on top of the key, that's the vocal point, because then she turns around and she had Samoji on the baseline, and also, of course, she had Martin, who she went to. You know, it just seems like the three big women, Martin, Clemente, and Blauser, have been playing together for longer than the 4 games that they've played so far. Their communication with the high-low, and it just it excites you to see what down the line what might become of this group. Kylie Martin missed the first free throw, and that's a shocker because she was 10 of 11 from the line, coming in at 91%. Well, as a team, Rutgers is doing very well, 74% from the line. 24-9, Rutgers on top. 9:45 remaining, first half. Rutgers changes defense. This is Vivian Stringer's style. Vivian Stringer is known to have multiple defenses. They go back into his zone. Tim Curry could not hit. I was going to say, Lou, and what happens when you play a team like Princeton, who might not see as many, might not come against this kind of talent or see these kinds of defenses, it's good to change up every time down the court. Change up as long as your team knows what they're doing. That's the most important thing. Change up. Give the offense different looks. Make them have to back the ball right back out and start all over again. Rutgers turns the ball over, and Princeton in the forecourt. Inside pass and nice positioning for Dana Moore, but she can't connect, and Rutgers on a 3-on-2. Well, that's what you have to be careful with, something like that. Dana Moore, the senior with experience on the low post. Hansen to Samoji, and Samoji lays it in. 26-9. 10 points for Samoji, having a good first half.
The foul is on Clemente.
And you could sense or feel that Rutgers wants to go on the break. They want to run the ball. They do have the potential to run the ball. And that, of course, happens when you get those defensive boards. You get the rebound off the glass and you kick it out and go wire to wire.
McLean comes out, Reinders back in, and Tamara Young is in the game now for Rutgers as Samoji sits down. Free throw, no good. Lynn Makalewski on the line, just a sophomore out of Kingston, Pennsylvania. Clemente sits down, and Susan Blauser back into the game for Rutgers.
Makalewski only played 5 games last season after suffering a stress fracture in her right foot, so as a sophomore, this is only her, really the 4th game that she's played.
Hansen outside, no. Martin, the rebound, scores. Kylie Martin, one of those freshmen on the front line. 28-10, Rutgers by 18 with 8.5 remaining first half.
And Rutgers goes into a 2-1-2 zone defense. We've seen 3 different defenses so far from Rutgers. But with the 2-3 with Blauser in the middle, there's more protection on that girl that floats in the middle.
Off of Princeton, Rutgers gets it back. Princeton really having a hard time shooting from the outside.
Well, their strength, Lou, is the perimeter. Their strength is in their post. They don't have the perimeter presence. Andrea Rossi does take shots here and there, but they really don't have a strong backcourt.
Hansen shovels to Martin. Martin looks for help, goes back to Hansen, inside Blauser. Martin off the deflection, tried to shovel back and picked off by Kim Allen. Allen brings it across. She's had some good early season games. Inside Curry, gets position and scores. Good look that time from Andrea Rossi. 28-12, Princeton has cut it to 16 with 7.5 remaining first half. Young to Blauser. Cross-court Hansen loses the handle momentarily. Now goes top of the key, Reinders. Blauser looking to flip it out to Young, who takes the shot, no. Rebound, knocked around. Hansen steals it somehow, gets it to Blauser, and she is fouled.
See what happens anytime that Liz Hansen is the point guard on the floor, and she has to look for a shot at the same time. That's a very awkward position for her to be in. And when she's on the wing, and she's in the game with Tamara Young, who is a freshman, who's inexperienced in playing in this kind of organized type of game, you're not going to see the fluency in the offense as when you have Samoji in the game.
Blauser cannot hit the free throw. Young tracks it down in the corner and saves to Reinders. Now Young for 3. No, off the back rim. And Princeton the other way. Here come the Tigers.
And you don't want to discourage Young from taking those shots because those are open shots and those are the kind of shots that she can make down the line. So this is the part of the game that really Rutgers needs to be much more aggressive and put a lot of pressure on the wings, jamming them, not giving them access to the post area.
Ball knocked away, back inside, turn around by Moore. Is it good? Let's see. Yes, they count the basket just before the 30-second shot clock expired.
Good patience by Princeton.
28-14 the score.
See, and this is the time of the game, 6 minutes to go in the first half. You don't want to open the door and let Princeton back in.
Hansen for 3. 31-14 Rutgers.
Princeton very patient on offense, moving the ball around.
3-point shot, in and out by Kim Allen. Rebound put up, no. Ball knocked around, tracked down by Princeton. The Tigers will get a fresh 30 seconds.
And this is exactly what happened in the Maryland game, is that Rutgers given second chance opportunities to Princeton.
Shot outside, good. A three-pointer for Lynn Makalowski. And Princeton has cut it to 14, so they're hanging tough after the tough early start for the Tigers. Rutgers leads 31-17. Blauser inside, couple of dribbles, traveling the call.
Good defense by Princeton. Blauser getting the ball, not turning around, looking and seeing, gets caught with the travel.
And there's a break in the action. 5:20 remaining first half. Rutgers 31, Princeton 17. Likely it'll be Rutgers versus Florida in the championship game of the Rutgers basketball tournament coming up this weekend. So we'll check your local listings later on this week. There's Liz Hansen with a three-pointer. Nice form.
What's happening right here, we were talking in the break, Lou, the game is very flat, and the reason why is that Princeton is dictating the tempo of the game. It's very much a half-court game. Princeton taking their time, run the offense the way they want. Rutgers needs to turn that tide. Rutgers needs to push the ball up the court.
Shot outside doesn't go, and Princeton pulls down the rebound. And the Tigers can cut it to 12 or maybe 11 if they can hit a three-point shot.
And this is just a game that Liz Philly wants her team to be in. Half-court offense, being patient, running down the clock, looking for good shots off the offense.
Princeton, of course, their objective is to try to get it to 10 or less by the half. Knocked away by Rutgers. It'll be a 2-on-2. Here comes Reinders. Hansen, good look-away pass into Martin, who shovels to Blauser, who cannot hit off the front of the rim, but tracks down her own rebound. Hansen for three, yes! And a foul in the lane.
The basket's good, the foul is on McLean.
Basket is good, yes, and the foul on Lawana McLean in the paint.
Score the basket.
For Rutgers, just their, I believe, 16th foul. So Liz Hansen with 2 threes in a row.
Rutgers foul on number 22, Lawana McLean, her second.
Yeah, it is only a 6, so they wouldn't be...
Scarlet Knights team foul. Lauren Hartman.
There's Hansen's three-pointer.
See, when Hansen has the time to take those shots, she does very well. There's a little confusion there down at the scorer's table. They're almost setting up for a free throw.
Nice pass inside, and Dana Moore scores for Princeton. Moore averaging 13 points per game, coming off, has 8 points here today. And coming off a 16-point performance against Lafayette. 34-19. 15-point lead for Rutgers. 3:30 remaining first half.
Princeton doing a good job defensively, just pushing Rutgers' offense outside the arc, not giving them good positioning in the low post area.
Blauser draws the foul, and she will go to the line. The foul is on Kim Curry.
What's happening with that interior defense by the Princeton woman is that they're not giving the kind of openings that Blauser and Kylie Martin want. Every time one of them gets the ball, they're collapsing on them, not giving them that give and go, that high-low type of two-player game that they've been used to working at.
Rutgers struggling a little bit from the line. They came into the game hitting 75% of their free throws, and Blauser is just 1 for 4 on the evening from the stripe. Her second is good. And a timeout on the floor. 3:25 remaining first half. The score, Rutgers 35, Princeton 19.
And that's one of the areas of the game is their three-point shot, which they haven't been doing very well against Notre Dame. They only shot 20%, and against Maryland, only 16%, so a very bright side on the offensive area for Rutgers.
Princeton in the forecourt. Tigers trail by 16. The shot is blocked in the paint, but a foul on Rutgers. Diana Alexander is in the game now for the Scarlet Knights.
See, what's happening with Rutgers right now is that Princeton, very patient offensively, is getting the ball inside to the big woman in the paint. The fault of that comes from putting pressure on the perimeter passes. You must go out there and jam the girl with the ball, not giving her easy access to passes in the post, and therefore Rutgers coming there late and fouling the Princeton players.
Trisha Clock at the free throw line hits the first. Trisha hitting 67% from the line and averaging 14 points per game. She cannot connect on the second, and Alexander pulls down the rebound for Rutgers.
See, now with Samoji back in the game, you feel the sense that she's going to start to push the ball up the court, look for opportunities, get the fast break in line, and this is where I think Rutgers has the big edge over this Princeton team. I think they could run with them. I think they could beat them down the court, because I don't think Princeton has the quickness to stay with Rutgers.
Foul. Actually, a kickball, and Rutgers will throw it in.
And with the kickball, we have a reset of the 30-second clock.
2:41 remaining first half. Nice pass underneath Samoji with a great shot.
You gotta love Samoji because she's such an exciting player on the court. She creates so much. You just don't want her to create too much, try to do too many things on the court.
Samoji with 12 points in the game. The shot from three-point land is no good for Princeton, but last touched by Rutgers, and Princeton will inbound.
Very important for Rutgers right now with 2:24 to go in this first half to really diffuse any kind of Princeton run that they might have in mind.
Samoji quickly up court. Goes to Hansen, top of the key.
Princeton staying in that 2-3 zone.
Hansen looks for a pick. 5 on the shot clock. Samoji dribbles in. Pushes it up. No, underneath Martin. Took it out of the air, but the shot clock had expired. And on the shot clock violation, Princeton will throw it in.
Well, Samoji had no choice on that. She only had a couple seconds on the clock. She tries to go in and tries to shoot it up there, of course missing everything, and we have a 30-second violation. Stagnant part of that Rutgers offense.
Rutgers 37, Princeton 20.
And with Jamie Broderick in the game, Jamie will play the point, and they'll put Samoji on the 2 spot for some offensive production. 3-point
shot, no good by Kim Allen, and Rutgers comes back the other way. Hansen looked to dribble in, but Princeton closed it off on the D. Bounce pass Samoji for 3, no, off the back rim. Rebound, Martin loses to Clock. Trisha Clock looking for some help and does find some in Andrea Rossi.
Kylie Martin not finishing the play, has to grab onto that ball to secure that rebound.
Rossi to Moore, and then Moore did a good job to save the basketball.
Very small lineup by the Rutgers in the front line. In the backcourt, rather.
Turnaround, no good. Princeton just cannot buy a bucket. Ball is knocked around underneath. It'll be a jump ball, and it will be Rutgers ball on the alternating possession.
Well, the crowd thought, and they were right, that Diana Alexander got clobbered in there.
Rutgers by 17 with 53 seconds remaining first half.
Watch for Samoji or Hansen to take some outside shots. That's why they have Broderick at the point.
Hansen dribbles into traffic, goes outside Samoji, who launches a 3, no, off the rim. Rebound, Alexander knocks it out. It will be Princeton ball.
35 seconds on the clock, Princeton. She just looked for one shot. Don't give Rutgers another opportunity to come down on the offensive end.
Liz Hansen will sit down. Tamara Young is back into the game for Rutgers, and also into the game for the the Scarlet Knights, Jamie Broderick. Bounce pass in the paint, turnaround, good. Sweet shot by Trisha Clock. It's a 15-point game, 37-22. 10 seconds left, first half. Rutgers will hold for the last shot. Broderick goes to Young. Young dribbles to the foul line, puts it up and in. Nice shot by Tamara Young. And that'll do it. The first half has come to an end. The score, Rutgers 39, Princeton 22, and back with halftime activity in just a few moments. Princeton will inbound to begin half number 2. Tigers move left to right on your screen. Princeton needs a good start here in the second half. Foul on Reinders underneath. That's her third. Dana Moore was in the lane. Princeton starts with Kim Allen and Trisha Klock at the forwards. Dana Moore at center. Zakia Presley and Andrea Rossi at the guards. Rutgers comes out with Blauser and Clemente at the forwards. Hansen, Reinders, and Samoji in the backcourt.
Rutgers starts off with a zone defense, then comes out of that out-of-bounds play into a play-to-play defense.
Jump ball, and it is Rutgers' possession on the jump ball.
And see, these are the kinds of things that I think really can upset a team like Princeton. They're in a 2-3 zone. All of a sudden, out-of-bounds play, they go into a play-to-play defense. Kind of upsets the momentum of that offensive team.
Hansen protects the ball. Liz Hansen, the senior guard. Terrific career here at Rutgers.
Princeton in a 2-3 zone.
Hansen a look away to Clemente, and the foul before the shot called on Trisha Klock. Now, you got to talk about Liz Hansen. You know, here's a player. Got to be tough for a player like that, Kathy. A senior coming in, and all of a sudden she has a new coach, new system to adjust to. But so far in the first 4 games, she's done a whale of a job.
The new coach, a new system, and a new position. You know, now she's back. Last year she was asked to play that point spot. Now she's back to the number 2 spot. But that's why she's such a good ball player. Is her adaptability, her ability to go from whatever position that her team needs her to play.
Blauser to Clemente.
Rutgers changing defense in a 1-3-1 zone right now.
Blauser almost steals. Cross court. Princeton trying to dribble in. Kim Allen. Nice bounce pass, but not cutting was Trisha Klock.
But what happens with the changing defense is it really takes the offense time to adjust and to say, okay, now we're in a different offense. Now we got to run this type of an offense. As you can see, the disorientation forces them to create a turnover.
Hansen dribbles in the paint, stops, pops, no. Rebound underneath the Klock. Klock looks for help and goes up to Presley. Zakia Presley on the left wing to Kim Allen. Now Rossi looks to set up. Outside. Allen to Presley. Princeton works the perimeter. Thrown away. Blauser picks it off. And here comes Samoji. Samoji spinning at the circle. Goes inside, and Clemente throws it away.
And Princeton doing a very good job in their transition defense, getting down, not giving Rutgers any opportunity to create fast break points. So good defense by Princeton. You know, you look at this offense by Princeton also is that this is not a strong perimeter shooting team on the floor, and they're taking their time. They're looking for openings in the interior, and they're taking their time. They're patient. They're moving around the ball. Rutgers needs to identify that and really clog up that middle, forcing them to create from the perimeter.
Clemente, good defensive play as she tied up the Princeton player and forced the jump ball. Princeton's possession on the alternating arrow. Dribbling in is Allen, puts it up, no, too hard off the back rim. And another jump ball. It'll be Rutgers this time as Clemente again ties up Kim Allen.
Oh, Princeton doing a real good job. You know, Clemente securing the ball, but not really protecting it, not putting it down where she's protecting it, and Princeton getting their hands on it. Princeton coming out in a 2-1-1 zone, full court zone, or 3/4 court zone press. A little change up on their part now.
Blauser goes cross court Samoji. Hansen top of the key, dribbles in, looks for help, goes to Reinders on the baseline, shovels back to Blauser, who puts it up, no. Clemente, the rebound, too hard. And Princeton pulls it down.
Well, Rutgers getting good opportunity. 3 shots to the basket, not making them. They're hitting off the back of the rim. They either use the backboard or take their time, follow through with softer shots. Those are tough shots to make when you're a big gal and you're in front of the rim and you're not using the backboard. You know, the guys usually go up there and just slam it, really. That's the whole key.
Samoji with the steal, lays it up and in.
Excitement creates on the fast break. This is what you can do for this team. Get them into that momentum.
Rutgers leads 43-22 on the baseline. Dana Moore goes outside. Allen for 3. Kim Allen hits the 3-point shot. She had 4 3-pointers in one game earlier this year against Northern Illinois. 64 career 3-point shots for Allen coming in. Foul is on Princeton. Andrea Rossi, her 3rd foul. And for Princeton, the Tigers' 2nd team foul.
You know, when Clemente, Casey, good form. That almost looked like an NBA 3 on that shot.
Samoji for 3. No, off the back rim. Rebound, Tamara Young with great hustle. And she skied for that ball. Hansen outside, Samoji to Young. Young inside Blauser. Turnaround is good.
Good offensive movement. Good movement by Blauser in the middle. Good recognition by Tamara Young for the pass.
Blauser with 10 points. 45-25. Rutgers by 20. Makaluski drives, puts it up short. Blauser to Samoji. It's a 3-on-2 to Tamara Young. She goes back to Samoji, who cannot connect. And the foul on Rutgers. It'll be on Blauser over the back.
Unselfish basketball by Samoji and Tamara Young, but Samoji probably should have taken it down just a little further and to give Tamara Young a better shot to go all the way with it.
There's a break in the action. 15-17 remaining, second half. Rutgers 45, Princeton 25.
Curry led this team in scoring and rebounding last year. Not as quick from wire to wire, but gives them presence and size in the post.
Kylie Martin in the game now for Rutgers, and she knocks it away and steals. Hansen brings it across the midcourt line. In the corner to Young. Top of the key, Samoji. Martin in the corner. Hansen to Blauser to Young for 3, in and out. And Princeton with the rebound. Andrea Rossi quickly up court. Nice outlet pass, beautifully done to Dana Moore, who scores.
I think that's the first transition basket that Princeton has gotten today. They'll step it up a little bit. They'll extend that defense. They need to put some pressure on Rutgers right now. They need to get their hands on the ball. They're down by 18 points right now, so you'll see some full court action from them.
Samoji, top of the key, goes to Hansen, who pops a 3. No, off the back rim, and a rebound to Moore. Princeton quickly up court, 45-27. The Tigers look to whittle that lead away.
Well, Princeton comes out of the TV timeout and creates momentum right away, giving Rutgers twice down the floor only 1-shot opportunities.
Shot put up, no, off the rim by Kim Allen, and tracked down by Makaluski.
And once again, Rutgers falls asleep on the defensive boards, given Princeton offensive positioning.
Makaluski moves in a couple of steps, puts up the shot, doesn't go. Rebound, Martin, who goes up high and steps on the baseline. It'll be Princeton ball. Rutgers fans thought that Martin might have been forced out.
Well, a little frustration on Martin's part, but you got to give a lot of credit to Princeton. This team never dies. They keep on coming back. They keep on niching. They make good substitutions. They get in there. They fight hard on their offensive boards.
LaWanna McLean back into the game for Rutgers, and Tamara Young will sit down.
You know, defensively, Rutgers has to make those stops. They have to finish the play.
Curry hustles to get it, then drives too hard off the bottom of the rim. And here comes Samoji on the run. Samoji now will pull it back out and set it up.
A little different of the offense we're seeing right here. In previous games, we haven't seen Blauser or Collie Martin come out of that paint area. Now they're coming out, changing things a little bit.
Ball knocked away in the paint. And Rutgers is calling a timeout. I think it's a 20-second timeout. Is that right? Let's see.
Well, they didn't put their hand.
5:27. Tonight's Princeton-Rutgers game is a production of TKR Cable and Rutgers University and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or charge for viewing the game without the express consent of TKR Cable and Rutgers University is strictly prohibited.
Princeton extending their defense out, leaving openings right there for Blauser. This is what happens. Once that defense extends out, it's the job of the post players to find those gaps, that gap in the 2-3 right in the middle.
Her first, the third Tiger team foul.
Susan Blauser goes to the line. She'll shoot 2. First is on the way, good. She'll get another. Second, no good. Tapped around.
I think we jinxed Rutgers. We said on the top of the show what good free throw shooters they are, and they've uncharacteristically missed a couple today.
Hansen with a marvelous inbounds, but then Martin could not connect. Princeton quickly up court. 46-27 the score. 12 and a half remaining. Inside, Curry puts it up, no. Blauser the rebound, and they'll call the foul on Princeton. Yes, Princeton. Thought for a second, I saw Princeton clap, I thought I went the other way for a second. Trisha Clock is called for the foul. That's the 4th Princeton team foul and 3rd on Clock. So Rutgers will inbound. Rutgers on its way to its 2nd victory of the season, barring a tremendous run.
Princeton on that 2-2-1, 3/4 court press, really just putting very little pressure on Rutgers, just almost like a change-up. So what happens with Rutgers sometimes is that they get too caught up with the ball on one side of the key. As you can see, they had a 30-second violation before the ball was taken away, but they get too caught up on that 2-3, where anytime you're on a 2-3 zone, you must have quick reversals on the cross court or the skip pass, and they're not doing so.
Meanwhile, Hansen comes back with tremendous hustle, knocks the ball off of a Princeton player, and Rutgers gets the ball back. Lawana McLean's shot is short on the baseline. And quickly Princeton comes up court. Outside, Kim Curry thought about the 3. Now they go to McAlusky. Outside, Sarah Whetstone's in the game. Curry inside, works her way in and scores. Nice maneuver by Kim Curry.
And that's what she does very well. She stays around that paint area, going from the top of the key, slides down to the post area. When she's in the game, you really need to front her, force them to lob the ball over. She's really not that big, Kim Curry. That's why you could front her.
Hansen outside, goes inside Clemente, now inside Martin, but too many hands in there. It's knocked away. Hansen gets it back, puts it up and in. Oh, Liz Hansen.
Well, always around the ball, but good hustle by Princeton. Dana Moore being right behind. Rutgers not doing a good job offensively, receiving the ball and protecting it. They're leaving it wide open.
3-pointer in and out. Nice rebound,
travel.
but traveling is the call on Dana Moore.
Rutgers substitution number 12, Amy Wright.
Amy Reinder's back in the game.
Number 22, Lawana McLean.
And Lawana McLean will go out. 48-29, Rutgers on top. 10:22 remaining in the game.
Well, Princeton needs to make a serious run right here. The 2-2-1 that they're in is just seems like just the positioning, and they're just backing down. They're not creating any kind of pressure off that 2-3. It's almost like senseless to do something like that if you're not going to create any trapping situation.
Kylie Martin with a nice baseline jumper.
And she was happy with that shot, Lou. She was smiling on her way back. That's not usually a shot that she would take.
50-29, Rutgers. Dribbling in Whetstone. Good look inside. Moore lays it in.
Now, Moore does such a nice job on that low post area. Just hangs down there in that spot up area, waits for the offense to be created, and steps right into the opening.
Nice game for Dana Moore. She has 12 points for the Tigers. Martin outside. Delivers to Hansen, who fires and hits.
See, and that's what this 2-3 zone creates. When Martin's down that low post, you had Liz Hansen on that seam area, the spot-up area, ready for the skip pass.
Princeton calls timeout with 9:14 remaining and a break in the action. Rutgers leading 52-31.
To get a good pass across, then it's going to be hard to stop that three-point shot.
Princeton will inbound. Little delay. They had to wait for the possession arrow. Shot outside, three-pointer, no by Allen. Rebound Martin underneath.
Well, that's a spot-up shooting we just alluded to a few minutes ago.
Boy, Princeton could have used that one. Rutgers up court. Hansen backing in against McAlusky. And a foul on Rutgers, a blocking foul. Illegal pick on Kylie Martin.
What's happening right now is Kylie Martin, instead of holding her position, she's leaning towards the defender moving pick.
Rutgers with 13 turnovers in the game.
And one thing Rutgers doesn't want to do, they don't want to act tentative right now. They need to be aggressive, just like that, just like with Tamara Young. They want to be aggressive defensively and offensively. Take their shots. Don't back out. Don't play not to, don't play not to lose. Play to win.
Andrea Rozzi's pass inside, intercepted by Tamara Young, and then Hansen tried to sneak it in. And a foul on Princeton. Dana Moore thought she had picked it clean, but they whistle her for the foul. That's just her first foul. The sixth Princeton team foul. We did have a halftime score. I hate to be the bearer of bad news in the men's game. I believe the halftime score was Georgetown 42, 42, and Rutgers 21.
Oh, Georgetown is ranked, was in top 5 or top 10 this year, so.
And a foul on Rutgers, Kylie Martin. Vivian Stringer shows very little emotion. Of course, she has this game, leads this game by 15, but Dana Moore goes to the line, averaging nearly 13 points per game, senior center. And she can cut the Rutgers lead down, but she misses the free throw, and that is Princeton's Achilles heel. They are not good from the free throw line, and an opportunity to get some free points there.
And that was smart positioning by Samoju. As soon as that ball came off, she just went right to that line. She boxed out the girl taking the shot and was in good position for the rebound.
Blauser to Martin, who puts it up and it dances off the rim and in.
Princeton still in the position to have a comeback, only down by 17 points. That might sound a lot, but there's more than 4 minutes to go in the game. They're in a good situation. They have 2 timeouts, and they're not over the limit right now.
Cross-court pass goes sailing out of bounds. So another Princeton turnover. Rutgers will throw it in. 20th turnover of the game for the Tigers. Hansen dribbles in. Goes inside Clemente. Double teamed, goes outside Blauser. Back to Clemente. Foul on Princeton. They'll get Kim Curry, and that'll be the 7th Princeton team foul, so Rutgers will shoot.
Princeton changed it up a little bit, went to the player-to-player defense.
Princeton foul number 31.
Good positioning by Clemente, holding Kim Curry on her high side and asking for the ball with her left hand.
Diana Alexander into the game for Rutgers, and Susan Blauser will sit down. Jen Clemente at the line. 3 for 6 from the free throw line coming into the game. She'll shoot 1 and 1. First is on the way, and no good, in and out. Rebound to Clock, and Princeton quickly up court. They can cut it to 15 with a bucket. Clock at the top of the key. Gives to Razi. Samoji comes out to play her.
See, and Princeton can't afford the time just to stand there and pass around the ball. They need to make some. They need to create some offensive opportunities right away. They don't so much need to go inside, go outside and shoot 3-point shots. They need to get inside and create some high percentage shot and get some fouls.
You saw a rare air ball by Kim Allen. Hansen, the look away to Clemente. Triple pumps and scores.
Boy, when she gets that ball down low, she knows how to use her body. She was almost trying to draw the foul in that low post area.
And Rutgers is pulled away again. Scarlet Knights lead by 19, 59-40.
So all of a sudden, Rutgers has a different kind of, it's a burst of energy now. You see a different type of team out there.
Pass goes inside, knocked out of bounds.
Good hands by Diana Alexander. Dana Moore keeping the ball low, showing the ball. Diana swats it away.
Shot put up, no. Hansen with a nice pass up ahead to Samoji, who lays it up and in.
That was a no-look pass by Hansen, but Samoji's right up front, took the ball nicely in for the deuce.
With a sensational block. Some substitutions come in. 61-40 the score.
And you like to see that with the freshmen because you know, they get that excitement, the crowd goes wild. It was good positioning. She had a good look and got a nice piece of that ball.
Shot outside, good by Julie Angel with the basket for the Tigers. 61-42 the score.
Princeton needs to make something really happen right now. I mean, they need to put a lot more pressure on Rutgers. Rutgers really continuing. They stepped up their level quite a bit offensively, moving the ball around quicker. In that second half, they were kind of slow. They're playing against that zone. They're keeping the ball inside the key too long. Seems to be a little bit of rejuvenated.
Clemente is at the line. 2:20 left in the game, and Rutgers is on its way to victory number 2 in the year.
Clemente on the line for Rutgers, shooting 2.
Clemente with 11 points. Her second is on the way. And good as she gets the roll.
Vivian on the sideline, always teaching, always coaching. You know, you would think, well, 2 minutes to go in the game. These are very critical times. Rutgers only up by 21 points, but you never want to see your team have a letdown right now. These are the times in the game where you want them to execute. You don't want them to try to do anything that's out of character. You want them to play the game the way they should. You want them to execute the right way.
Traveling the call on Princeton.
Princeton in a player-to-player defense.
And traveling on Rutgers.
Princeton trying to change up things a little bit, going to the player-to-player defense. Rutgers just has to be fundamental and make the stops right now if they need to.
Lauren Hartman into the game now for Rutgers with a minute 52 left. And we have a timeout on the floor. A minute 52. Select the Farrington Bank player of the game, sponsored by Farrington Bank. Here's Hansen in the backcourt.
Less than a minute and a half to go in the game. Rutgers just taking their time, looking for good shots. Princeton not even trying to foul at this point. They're kind of out of range at this point.
Lauren Hartman scores.
I think this Princeton team, Lou, when you look at it, you sense that they'll do pretty good in the Ivy League this year. Liz has done a real good job with them. Their offense, they flow very well. I thought they did a nice job against Rutgers today. I mean, Rutgers is a talented team, but a bright future for this Princeton team this year.
Again, we will choose a player of the game sponsored by Farrington Bank, your community bank for consumer and small business loans. And I think we're in agreement that that player of the game will be Kristen Samoji. Samoji off to a great start to lead Rutgers in the first half.
And anytime Samoji came in during the game, she gave Rutgers that spark that it needed. She's a high energy type of player. She controlled the game very well. She took some good shots, and she gives that energy that filters in among everyone to get them going.
Foul underneath.
Rutgers foul number 22, the one between her third. Leanne Rowan on the line for Princeton, shooting 2.
65-45 the score with 51 seconds remaining.
You know, a game like this for Princeton, Liz Feely had a chance to play a number of her players today, giving them opportunities. I think she saw a lot of things the team could do. They did a nice job, I thought, on the press. Maybe didn't come to it soon enough. Maybe Liz didn't think they could, just like over here, they couldn't do the things against Rutgers. They may not have had the quickness to stop them in the long haul. But I think she has to see a lot of things from her team today that can help her down the road.
Leanne Droham with the basket for Princeton, and the Tigers cut it to 65-48. Hartman puts it up. No, we're down to 15 seconds left in the game. We've got a whistle. And our player of the game, brought to you by Farrington Bank, your community bank for consumer and small business loans, is Kristen Samoji. 17 points, 2 rebounds, but really ran the offense for Rutgers. She is the Farrington Bank player of the game. And a reminder, as soon as the game's over, Kathy Andruzzi will talk with Vivian Stringer. And that'll be in about a minute and 5 seconds from now.
I guess when you look at the score, Rutgers 65, Princeton 48, is that defense wins ball games, and the whole defensive philosophy of Vivian Stringer has been falling down to her team. This is the lowest that they've kept the team this year. Could be under 50 points. Now, if I'm a coach, Lou, under 50 points is a good defensive effort.
Rutgers ball, the long pass intercepted by Princeton, but that will do it. Ball game over. The final score, Rutgers 65, Princeton 48. Rutgers improves to 2-2, and Princeton drops to 3-1, their first loss of the season. We'll take a short break. When we return, Kathy Andruzzi will have Victoria's head coach Vivian Stringer. Stay with us.